in. But this is the time now, uh, even the planets are lining up that all truth will come to the light.
So do you think we're in some critical turning point here?
Yes, everyone that is not on that path of truth or not on that path of trying to um, change who they are spiritually, they will uh, come to see more darkness in their life instead of more light.
Wasn't
And
that
that's
always true?
um no. Most people think that they have the truth. Most people think that they're living in the truth, but a lot of them are living in an illusion of their own mind and a deception in which they think that they are really walking on that path. So they're just leading themselves more into the dark state of the abyss, which we call a triple state of darkness, which is deaf, dumb, and blind.
So what does it matter, though? I'm just trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate here. I've personally come to the conclusion that I should save myself and not worry about so much about what other people are doing. What does it matter to you or Freemasonry if the general population goes further into darkness? Wouldn't that be good for business?
No, it would not, because as a as an individual of knowledge and an individual of truth, I believe that everyone's soul and spirit should be free. It doesn't matter what they believe in, what culture they come from. That if you're Buddhist, you should understand the mantras and the prayers in which liberates your soul out of the darkness. So, yeah, it may not matter, but it does matter when you're on that path of truth. Um, that you leave no brother behind, no sister behind that is seeking the light and that wants it.
So it's a responsibility to help people who want to be helped.
It's always a responsibility to those that have the light to give it.
So we established last time, and by the way, anyone who hasn't seen the first interview, definitely go check that out. It's on audio only on the podcast. The link is in the description because we go through Dr. Tehutie's story, where he came from and all this stuff. And we established that he's kind of broken away from what we would think of as mainstream Freemasonry. Like, and this is where the divide comes in for me. Like, you see a lot of Freemason organizations, record companies, movie companies, and other studios that are promoting stuff that drags us down, obviously brings our vibration down, brings us away from truth. So you don't agree with what they're doing, basically. You have a different philosophy that you should share the knowledge regardless, and you're not playing part in this trickery.
Yes, I to deceive an individual within their own soul or within their own mind is the devil itself. See, most people think that masonry is a tool to get things in life and to get immediate things. And it is, if you are playing that role in masonry. But again, masonry is a tool, should be a tool, I should say, of enlightenment. I've been traveled down that path for 25 years, almost 30 years. And within that path, I learned to seek out other knowledge, hidden mysteries that will liberate my soul, that will let me come into the true knowledge of self and self-awareness. So, and when masonry doesn't allow you to do that, that wants to keep the secret, that think that they have the keys to the secret, that's not true. Even inside the Christian Bible, Jesus talk about it's not meant for everyone to have the secrets to the kingdom of heaven.
But you think we all should have the secrets.
I believe that everyone that is on the path should have the secret to be able to liberate their soul and their family also.
And here I agree with you because I think it would be better if more people were enlightened and educated and rational, and it would be a better world overall. It always puzzled me that these the controllers, they're doing all this stuff to drag us down, but why do we want an idiot population? And even you said in the last talk that basically you need a population of workers. Right? You're talking about these Masons acting as the ruling class. You still need a population of workers. I, for one, don't want an idiot butler or driver or something. Like, just having the world populated with people who don't know the truth seems to be a barrier for everybody's world.
Yes. Again, inside the Christian Bible, our book, it says, when you know the truth shall set you free. Masonry, or I should say the occult teachings of Masonry, because you have to understand there's two types of Masonry. You have the speculated Masonry and you have the operated Masonry. The operated Masonry is what builds structures. The speculated Masons is what builds the temple within each and every individual. Um, so when you are looking for truth, you know that you have to go within inside yourself to find the divine truth, whatever you may call it, whatever, people call it God, people call it Allah, people call it Buddhist, people call it Krishna. It is what you basically believe. But most of the people will not take the time out to separate themselves from the world. So that's why, I stepped away from Masonry, is for the simple reason, being around brothers, they're not taking their time to step away from the world, to work on self, to work on self discovery, self awareness, self discipline. So they're not willing to give up their job. They're not willing to step away from their family for a certain time to find out who and what they are and what they're capable of doing in the world around them. What world that they create. So the truth within inside of them lays dormant. And there is no what we call in Buddhist, there is no resurrection of the Kundalini.
So, couple interesting things to me. Am I correct in thinking that what you're saying is that God is basically subjective? Does Masonry have a specific view of God, or is it just literally whatever you believe to be the truth?
Well, in order to become a Mason, you must believe in God. So the how I say it, the criteria of becoming a Mason in the lower degrees is believing in that and believing in a God. But when you come into the higher degrees, you have to understand that that God that you believe in is within inside of you. And through that belief in the internal God, you're able to manifest the cause, because God, or whatever you would like to call it, is the cause of all things. So you can't put I know we do run around and saying, God, 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 but most people don't know the foundation or even the etymology of what that meaning is. So when you get into the occult teachings or you get into the Gnostic teachings, we use it as the symbolism of your higher self. Because I'm yet to see a man manifest the creator or the cause of all things.
I think I understand that.
Okay.
And you were talking about this discipline, and again, for maybe those who haven't heard the first interview or might need a refresher, you're obviously very, very disciplined. You did years of silence. I can't remember how many years you can
12
tell.
years.
12 years of silence.
12 years of silence.
That's a long time. 12 years of silence. That's very serious. And just recently, you did another meditation retreat, and I'm kind of imagining a day in the life of Dr. Tahuti has a lot of meditation and kind of higher level stuff in it. I don't really picture you drinking beer and watching the football game.
No, no TV. I'm very disciplined. Again, if they didn't listen to the first, podcast, 25 countries and 122 different temples. So when it comes to my life, I just finished another 3 books.